Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another podcast at Behind the Wheel. It's Jordan, your host, and today we have Courtney, our occupational therapist and regional clinical supervisor. Welcome to the show, Courtney.
Thank you.
Now, it's great to be able to speak to you. I know it's been over 6 months, actually, that I've had a chat with Courtney. And Courtney, I was just looking up offline the stats here, and you've been with us for 7 years and 4 months with a 7 month hiatus in Japan. So congratulations on those milestones as well. You're part of the furniture here and a very valued team member. So excited to get you on the podcast today.
No, thank you. Yeah, excited to be here.
And now, Japan. You had a 7 month hiatus. Could you please share with us, I guess, the opportunity that arose to you early last year and your decision to live abroad before coming back to us? Can you take the audience a little bit through that why and that opportunity and how's it been coming back in?
Yeah, so I guess living overseas or being able to take a long holiday was something that my husband and I had been discussing for a while. And then, yeah, it kind of got to the point of like thinking that, we had stable jobs, had the financial resources to be able to go and do that. And yeah, chose Japan as I guess our base because the exchange rate is
Yeah, you guys killed it.
Even better.
I know.
So yeah, it meant that we could afford to stay overseas for a long period of time. And yes, Jordan and the leadership team were very nice and let me go for that period of time. Made sure to give plenty of warning about what the plan was.
Yeah,
and hoping that I would still have a job to come back to after that, which yes, I was very fortunate to that you guys were able to do that for me.
No, of course, and appreciate the notice, and this was all new experience for us as well. And I know when it came to my desk, and it was like, what can we do for Courtney to make this work? And obviously that was the thought, and we try and make sure that if an opportunity like this comes, we really look at it to see what we can do to meet, I guess, make it happen for both parties. And it just we were able to make it work. Glad to have you back, but also to be able to give you that opportunity, that's really important to me as well, that we can offer that from time to time, given the right circumstances. So fantastic. And Japan, amazing food. I've only been once. It's been 10 years ago, but I do remember the food, the sashimi, the sushi train is a little bit different over there. There's no chicken avocados.
No.
That the Australian Westerner version thinks there are. Was there a particular food that you love the most over there?
The one, is called sukumen. It's like a ramen, but the noodles are cold with a hot broth, and you dip the noodles into the broth. Okay. And it's really, really flavorful. And I like noodles. So just a different way of having them. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, fantastic. All right. I want to now, all about you as an OT and a clinical supervisor here at Gen Physio. Let's go back to rewind to your early days before you went through uni and graduated. What drew you to wanting to be an occupational therapist?
I felt like was always leaning towards healthcare as a career, but wasn't really sure what path to go. Like main one I had heard of was physio, and then the community centre where I live was running a careers day. So went along to that, and they had podiatry, physio, OT, speech pathology, social work, psychology, all different allied health. Went along to the OT talk, and it was very cool. We got to make like a little finger splint, and she mostly worked with kids, so she had like a little mini power wheelchair, which was really cute. And so that just seemed really really fun, and that so went from there.
How old were you at that point? Was that through high school or?
Yeah, so I think that was about 15, 16.
Yeah, that's about time where they run through, your career options. Yes. You get the big job guidebook. You don't know what's going on. You do the work experience. You go to all the careers fairs. So great. So went to the sort of job fair and came across the different allied health streams, and OT piqued your interest. So after that point, was it direct to uni for you? And where did you study and how did all that go?
Yeah, so straight to uni after high school. I went to James Cook University in Townsville. So, yeah, I was originally from Cairns, then moved to Tasmania. You can't study most allied health
Mm,
professions in Tasmania, so I had to move somewhere. So went back to the warmth. Yeah,
yeah.
and was a bit
Okay.
lower scored, a bit easier to get into.
Yes, yes, of course. Well, look, it's a very desirable profession to get in all allied health disciplines, which is fantastic to see. And it's only growing, as we know, particularly in aged care and the disability sector as well. So going through James Cook University, getting your quals, and I believe you had a new graduate position before coming over to us. What drew you to community and an option that, you wanted to try? Was there anything that stood out for you on the mobile OT side?
So I'd done 2 roles before coming to Gen Physio. So I'd done residential aged care, which at the time was very focused on the pain management
Yes.
program.
Yep.
So yeah, wasn't very OT based. And then I went to a pediatric private practice and
Yes, I remember that.
yes, and was
Mm,
just, I think, love peds, but a lot to do full time.
mm,
And so yeah, so I think looking at Gen Physio, how the role was advertised was a bit of aged care and pediatrics. So I was like, I feel like that would be a good combination to, further, learn and develop my skills, which I have done, I hope. So,
certainly.
yeah, so it was, a good combination and giving me that variety that I think I was looking for and needing.
Fantastic. And look, I hear that time and time again. And certainly one of the biggest, I guess, attractions for community is having that ability to have a wider scope of practice with working with different clients with different backgrounds and ages. We're very fortunate. NDIS rolling out not long after you started with us. And so that was a great opportunity to have, I guess, clients from the disability background, pediatrics first, adults to mature age clients and our beloved elderly and everywhere in between. So great. So the I guess the broad spectrum of clients that you could see was a big attraction point for you for trying community. Fantastic. I have to admit that I was under the pain manager. That was my new grad job for 18 months before I started Gen Physio. I was all in the pain management side, and for those who are starting out recently, that world has changed quite a lot.
Mm.
But it was very much limited scope practice on what you could do. It was more massage, pain focus for elderly, and it was just a completely different model. And whilst it's good to get some exposure and work in a team, and I guess get your feet wet. And as a new graduate, it definitely, the limited scope was a struggle that I
Yeah.
had. And that's where community, which is just an absolute game changer in what we can do and being full scope clinicians. So fantastic. Now, being in the community for, 7 years, give or take, coming up to,
Yeah.
if we take away the Japan hiatus, you've seen many different clients of all different ages. Is there a particular client story that you can remember or would like to share with us that you had a big aha moment or a really rewarding moment that you, as an occupational therapist, was able to recognize and provide an intervention that saw amazing results with your client?
Yeah, I guess the one that comes to mind is like, sometimes I guess simple solutions, or that seems simple to us may not be obvious to other people. So, yeah, I had a client who I'd been working with for a little while and they really wanted to get a power wheelchair because they'd just been having a assistant propelled wheelchair
Hmm.
and able to get them that, and that was great. And then they were wanting to access their backyard a bit more with this and start doing some gardening. But there was a step off the patio onto the grass, and so the staff were hesitant around it because like, well, then we've got to try and half lift him up and over the patio step. So he already had a rubber threshold ramp to get out the sliding door. So I just picked that up and moved it to the step, and like it was a little bit too short, but it worked enough for in the meantime until could get him the right size ramp. And there's just remember the staff being like, "Oh, I never thought of that." So
Mm.
just sometimes there's those little things that as an allied health profession that you think of that other people don't. Yeah, and I guess for like to me that was just an obvious solution or something to try.
Mhm.
But yeah, to other people it's, without that training, it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So simple solutions sometimes have major benefits.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be groundbreaking, new intervention that no one ever is doing to get these results with your clients. That sometimes using your I guess, again, simple solutions with major benefit that would change a client's, I guess, perspective almost immediately, that they can at least 80 to 90% improvement on what they could have
Yeah.
prior, and a temporary solution that was immediate to get a great result, that it can go out to the garden and get that independence.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I guess,
Great.
yeah, for me just seemed, a very straightforward thing to do, but yeah, it was, yeah, the staff and the client appreciated that. And
And just to give a bit more context with this client, on the NDIS scheme, aged care, how did you go
yeah,
navigating NDIS, and how did you go navigating getting the power wheelchair? Because that's a big feat in itself, and it's a quite expensive bit of equipment. Was that something you were involved in to support that?
yes, I mean, luckily they weren't needing anything totally custom and scripted and, on the cheap, still expensive, but on the cheaper
Yeah.
side.
More your
No,
sub
no.
five sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, they'd had a stroke, so had reduced mobility and use of one of their upper limbs. I guess, yeah, one of the other sorts of challenges with them with getting that is they have also had aphasia. So a lot of the assessments and questions we would ask, kind of testing their
Mm.
cognition and suitability for getting a power wheelchair, is a lot of language and responses to questions. So that's where couldn't really complete the assessments that we normally would. So just kind of had to bring it out and try. And yeah, there was a
Mm.
few like the layout of the house, there was a few tight corners. So yeah, had to do a number of trials, but yeah, he got there.
Great.
That he was able to develop those skills to be able to navigate the house. That was the main spot. And then he
It's
would
priority
always
one.
would have a staff member with him if he was to go out in the community anyway. But yeah, he
Great.
did really well.
Yeah. Very humble, and I watch how you speak, Courtney, but obviously you're making big impacts to someone's life, which to you might be simple as just doing what you can as a clinician, uh, but obviously has profound effects. That's really great to hear. Now, not on the win story, because I'm sure you've got many more wins, but perhaps sharing with the audience a client challenge or moment that you felt a bit stuck, or what would be something that happened in the community that you weren't expecting, that required you to really lift and put your thinking cap on, or
I mean, I guess always a few challenges. But yeah, I think sometimes there was a child I was working with and seeing him at school, and we would be in either a different room or sometimes we'd have to just sit outside, just depending on what space was available. And yeah, he went through a stage of just was really struggling with that transition back to class and would, yeah, and be, running around the school and just, not coming back. So I'd be trying to
Mm,
keep an eye on him, but try to find someone because I'd, end up having to leave because got, other clients I need to see. So yeah, that was getting quite difficult to navigate. So yeah, trying to make sure that I would start wrapping up the session a lot earlier, so then if he was struggling with that transition, would have time to help make that easier and not making getting less stressed and rushing as well.
mhm.
Yeah, trying to make sure we were closer to where the classroom was, so there wasn't as far, and trying to come up with other ways of like, let's do this activity and then you can go show your teacher or a classmate what you've done in the session today, like trying to have something to help bridge that gap in between what we'd been doing and what and the classroom. And you did,
Yeah,
did get better, but yes, there was definitely a few weeks there that I just had to
it's
find
a
the teacher
challenge.
stage and can you help get him back, because I
Wow. So
wouldn't.
just non-compliance in general, and I guess working
Yeah,
with peds, they don't understand at all the
no,
times what we're trying to do here, and if you're getting somebody running around or going MIA on you,
yes,
in a school particularly, that's not I'm in a house, I'm in the room, ready to go. And these are the challenges that can happen, I guess, in multiple different ages and backgrounds of clients, not just pediatrics.
Yes, but yeah, I still see that client and yeah, not had
Oh,
those sorts of
great.
issues for for a while now. So
Good.
that's good. And yeah, so still able to, even with
Overcome.
those challenges, yeah, still able to, maintain rapport um
Great.
with him. Yeah.
And with that, how important was you communicating to other stakeholders like teachers, aides, family members around these challenges and how did you navigate through that?
Yeah, so a lot of would make sure, yeah, keeping up to date, the family up to date with what was happening and going on,
Mhm.
and yes, trying to communicate with the school and navigate those challenges as well. And I like there'd been some other challenges the school was having with this child as well. So yeah, trying our best to collaborate around that.
Worked, right? You've still got the
Yeah,
client.
yeah, and I think
Uh,
the schools had been trying to get other exploring other avenues within the education system as
mm,
well that they could utilize. But yes, yeah, very important. But I think sometimes was just a bit tricky in mostly just over email, not always easy to get everyone
of
together for
course. Yeah.
stakeholder meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, these are the challenges that you can have, and sounds like you've overcome them, but there's many different stakeholders in a client's therapy plan and the goals that you're trying to achieve. So that's, I guess, critical takeaway there that you're not just working with the client, but there are others that, you need to bring along the journey as best as you can, as hard as it can, because everyone
Mhm.
is busy with working in jobs or got other priorities and doing your best to bring that all in and communicate.
Yes, but yes, it can get tricky.
Now, being an OT in the community, is there a particular a bit of equipment or is there a type of therapy you find that you get really good results with?
I really like doing arts and craft activities, because that's something that I like doing. um,
That's a
but
win.
I think, yeah, it covers a lot of different intervention areas. So a lot of like fine motor skills, a bit of executive functioning around like, planning what you're going to make. Um, Again, getting the child, whether it's, trying to follow and copy something that I'm making, some emotional regulation skills where maybe it doesn't turn out how the child had envisioned. And the other thing with it as well is like can get gives kids the chance to be creative and use their imagination as well. And yeah, interesting to see what they can come up with and make.
I guess for engagement in particular, when you're working with pediatric or younger clients, they're not exactly sure on what outcomes we're looking for, but they want to have fun and be part of and be engaged. And in doing that, you're helping them get the result without them knowing it. Right?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, just think, yeah, I'm there to
Arts and
play with them.
crafts.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Play-based therapy are
Yes.
really important. What about emotional regulation? That was something I believe I learned from you and maybe another OT that I went out on the road with years ago, which I thought was, and I do know that's something that's used quite often. How important is looking at emotional regulation, particularly for your younger clients, and looking at therapy and interventions around that?
Yeah, like probably the most important thing, because if the child's not regulated, then not going to participate in the sessions. Most important thing, and obviously, yeah, but what that regulation looks like is going to, and what's going to help regulate the child's going to be different for everyone. So yeah, it's definitely can be a challenge as well of working, and just because something worked last week doesn't mean that that's going to work this week.
Mm,
But yes, definitely very important in helping the child be regulated and see you as like a trusting and safe person to get
yeah.
that participation in the.
And thank you for sharing. And when it comes to community, your caseload, if we've got an OT listening in, if we want to share what it's really like in the world of community, what would you say as a percentage term, your caseload of NDIS versus aged care, and perhaps what are some of the common conditions that you do see on your day to day or month to month?
My caseload is probably like 90% NGIS and 10% home care package.
Yeah. Well,
As
supported
I
home
go,
now. There's
which
a change happened when you're in Japan. But yes, yep. SAH, yeah, supported home. Basically similar at the moment. They're still working through the changes, but not too much of a change on our end at the moment as we're
no.
going through that.
Yes, just gotta remember what it's called. But yes, a lot more NDIS clients, yeah, covering like the West Brisbane and Ipswich area where I'm based. And then, yeah, for myself, probably within the NDIS space see more pediatric clients than
Hmm.
adults, just because I think also finding that more with the kids needing more regular intervention, where with a lot of the adults, it might be just needing some equipment or support
Yeah.
here and there, not necessarily needing ongoing intervention.
Hmm.
So yeah, common conditions. Probably autism is the one that I see the most. Um,
ASD 1, 2, 3, bit of a
Bit of a
combination.
combination, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Probably more within the two, I would say, is again what I've currently
Where you sit at.
got.
Yep.
Yeah, and then some with intellectual impairments and some combination of like a chromosomal genetic condition. That's probably the main one.
Okay, great. And what would you say, perhaps, age range of your NDIS clients? When would you start seeing them for intervention normally? And I know you've had clients for years, and you sort of follow them through their development phases and grow. But perhaps what would be your current sort of or main age group?
Yeah, mostly around like primary school age. I know that covers a wide range of ages, but yes, I feel like a lot
Okay.
usually get picked up around, around that 4-year-old, transition to kindy, thinking about school is usually
Mm.
when they get picked up by the NDIS. And then and then there's ones I've been working with for years who are now older primary, and a couple that are in early high school now
Okay,
as
wow.
well. But majority of my clients, within, still within primary school.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right. There you go. There you go, audience. Pediatric NDIS caseload, particularly out in your region, that West Brisbane Ipswich is heavy in that space.